Do you buy cheap wine for home consumption? Spend a little more on wine you might expose to friends and really shell out to impress your boss or that special someone? Natalie McLean has a new book out called Unquenchable, but it's the subtitle that caught my eye, A Tipsy Quest for the World's Best Bargain Wines. Natalie McLean joins me in studio. Good morning.
Hi, Hallie.
Thank you very much for coming down.
Oh, my pleasure.
You get what you pay for applies to many things. Does it apply to wine?
It certainly does. There are cost factors that go into making wine. So everything from how expensive was your vineyard land to did you use expensive French barrels and so on. Whole range of decisions. But beyond that, and I tend to think of a break point of it could be above 30, 50, whatever. The intangibles come into play. So is the wine rare? Did it get a high critic score? Is it a collector's item? And then you're not really paying for what you get for it. You're paying for what other people want.
Okay. I don't want to spend too much time talking about wines that cost more than $30, Natalie, for reasons that most people understand. The book sets out to find desirable wines in less familiar regions, which translates often into some bargain wines. Where are we talking about?
Exactly. So one of my favorite regions is Argentina. So it borders Chile, as you know, and Chile is another great country of fabulous bargains. The reason why that wines cost not so much down there is that they've got great weather all year round. Labor is cheap. Land is cheap, and they're trying to still establish a foothold in our market. They have to be super competitive, and I find that especially those robust Malbecs, that luscious red wine, comes in at about $12, $13.
Now
and
we're
it is
talking.
beautiful. Okay, I can see you light up when I say that number.
You know, this book is bursting with some really interesting characters, people that you met while on this hunt for bargain or hidden gems. Who will you never forget?
Oh, there are so many, but the man who stands out most for me is Blass from Australia. The man is a walking tornado. He's full of energy. He's in his mid-70s now, but you'd never know it. He has that passion for wine, but he's also just so colorful. He's a soundbite a minute. And, you know, we all know his wines, but a lot of us don't even think of him as a real
human
person.
being. I thought he was a brand.
Exactly, like Betty Crocker, Duncan Hines, but there is a Blass.
You mentioned Argentina. One of the places you also featured in the book was Germany, and specifically Reisling. And when I saw that, I was quite surprised because I'm immediately thrown back in time, Blue Nun, Black Tower, and I was thinking to myself, if there was something that I've been missing, I want to learn about it.
Absolutely. And here's another reason why a wine can be a bargain. They're trying to get past a sad reputation from a couple decades ago. They're still fighting it, the German Rieslings, unfairly, because they are spectacular wines and they are bargains. So especially those dry, zippy, white Rieslings that come in at about, $14, $15 at the most, to me taste 3 times as expensive as they cost.
And how difficult is it for a wine region to recover from, a stereotype of a bad wine or a cheap one?
It takes a long, long time. And a lot of us won't give it a chance after we've tried something that gave us, a vice grip headache, maybe behind a high school portable, maybe later. We never forget that experience. And so a country really has to try harder, with a lot of promotion to get us to come back again.
It's still a bottle of Mateus and only good for a candle?
Exactly, or macrame.
Okay.
Yeah.
That reminded me of a part that made me laugh out loud in your book where you said, look for a label with a very long, unpronounceable name on it, because if people aren't familiar with the wine, they're not as likely to buy it, which means the maker is more motivated to price it right, et cetera, et cetera. Do you use that as well?
Exactly. Well, that is also Germany's problem. So although there are some new German winemakers that are going with very, pronounceable names, but, it really hinders a country and a producer when you can't even say it. Are you going to order that wine in a restaurant, let alone ask for it in a wine store? You have to cough when you say the name,
Yes, you don't want your boyfriend or husband or partner to think you're a ignoramus, right?
Exactly.
So you're not going to order that.
Exactly. And the same goes with grapes that are hard to say, like Viognier and Gewürztraminer. It's very impressive, though, when you can say
That was the example I was thinking of, but I didn't want to say it.
No, it's true.
You've made a remarkable career as a enophile.
Yes.
Do I have that right?
Yes, you got that right.
Right here in Ottawa. And here's a question. It's a toughie. Is this the kind of town where you would show up at a party with a bargain bottle of wine?
Absolutely. People in Ottawa really know and value something that is a bargain. We are savvy shoppers. We are not spendthrifts. This isn't, a city with lots and lots of neighborhoods gushing with money. So, we are out there, and I think we have a great nose for a bargain.
I got to tell you this one other thing. A friend let me try Eldridge Blue Chip Shiraz, Clare Valley, South Australia, 2006. And it was to die for.
Wow.
I can't afford it. Is there a way of finding sort of a low-cost mimic to something that you really like?
Absolutely. A lot of wineries make second labels. So I think of it as like Max Mara weekend wear. They actually have their flagship brand. Penfolds is another one. Penfolds makes a range of wines from over $300 to $14.99.
Okay.
So, you've got the whole range. So if you look at a winery that does that, what they're doing is they want to keep the prestige of the most expensive wines. So they have really strict quality levels, and they are bottling what they feel is not quite coveted into the lower priced bottles. But that means you still get that expertise of a premium winemaker, the best barrels, all that. It is a real deal when you get a flanker brand of a winery like that.
That's a great tip. The next big thing in bargain wines, what or where will the story be in 2012, Natalie?
I think I'm biased, but I do think Niagara, and Prince Edward County, by the way, both of them. I know the wines aren't dirt cheap, so to speak, but for what you get, the wines are amazing for the quality, and I do think we're going to come more and more to these wines and realize when we taste them side by side just what a bargain they are for the quality that's in the bottle.
Natalie, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Cheers, Hallie.
Natalie McLean is the author of Unquenchable, a tipsy quest for the world's best bargain wines, published by Doubleday. Natalie's book launches tonight at Play Food and Wine on York Street. It starts at 5:30. And to find more tips about bargain wines, check out Natalie's website, nataliemclean.com.